Alexa, off. Okay, sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm really feeling that groove. I found it just a little bit ago. And I really like it. So, hopefully that gets to stay. I'm not going to mention it too much. Hopefully nothing happens because I did that a little bit. But I just wanted to share that little bit of beat with you guys and talk about the importance of what's going on right now. I have not been on in probably about a week or so. I've been super busy transitioning into a new career, basically, although albeit somewhat temporary, right? Like, that's not my final destination. But I am learning very good stuff in doing so. And it is quite challenging. And the interesting part is I'm at home now. So I work at home like 40 hours now a week. And so on top of that, I've been going through some things. Literally, we've been going through some things in my home and in our environment and with my kiddos and with their father. And times are hard, okay? And Spirit's kind of showing me that lately. It's like some people can be going through some challenging things right now. And that's everything from how to let go, I feel, is a big one. How to let go is a big one. And that's what they're saying. So it could be letting go of something, right? And I think we're all being presented with letting go of something. Okay. And then the other things that are coming forward, 222, right, when I said that, and that's all about balance too, right? Let me introduce myself really quick for those of you who don't know who I am. I am Brianna, also known as Juniper Bloom Mystique, aka a master healer. I have several different titles, quite honestly. A title's a title. I have been a crucial part to the ascension. And that's something I'm going to talk about a little bit today because I have to. I do have to. Spirit wants me to, but that doesn't mean I have to. I feel like I have to talk about this. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about false prophets today. Okay, so that's coming up big time. False prophets. I've said before, you guys, beware of false prophets. They're going to start surfacing. And what Spirit has told me is there is more false than real, unfortunately. And that's why real is distorted. Okay, so that leads me into the other part of what God is showing me today. And I say God. God has been kind of heavy in my heart lately. Not the angels. He's like speaking to me on a different level. And there is deep releasing going on. Okay, there's deep releasing going on. And I don't care what side of this you're on. You're doing something, right? Like something's moving, something's happening, whether you see it or not. And that's the reality. And I feel it, and it's quite emotional. And I don't know how many times I've pulled the cards, look at all of my videos, okay? So that's also coming up as past messages, right? And I will include the links of the videos that are relevant to this message underneath the video as soon as I edit it, once uploaded. Okay, I will include those links to the important videos that I'm kind of referring to as well today. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit of a 3-part message. It's a little bit all over the place. Thank you, right? So forgive me. But, all right, so judgment is coming up. We're all going to be asked to release something, okay, whether we're aware of it or not. And even saying that is making me sick and have to release something. It's like I don't know. Where do I start with this message? I can go so many different ways. At the baseline, we will all be met with, if we haven't already, a little bit of reality, okay? In some form or another. I have good examples. I could give you many. One of them is, I have told you before, some will go, some will stay. Some will never know life this way. That is part of a previous channel message I did about what Judgment Day is and what is going on. That was after I did one of the workshops, which is why we're going to go over false prophets and what I did and how long it took me to do it and what others are saying they're doing, okay? And how you can kind of tell the difference between real healers and fake ones and real prophets. Do I call myself a prophet? You guys, I don't even like titles, okay? I don't even like the term master healer. But, okay, there's this coming up, all right? And it's going to be coming forward more and more and more very quickly. The thing is we are in the thick of it, right? Like, we are, I almost want to say there's no turning back, but there's been no turning back since I said that, like, quite a while ago. Like, on one of my Facebook videos, I remember after one of my workshops, I'm like, they just said there's no going back, it's done, right? Which is funny because now I saw this email from somebody that somebody sent me. I won't name names, but you'll know who you are, hopefully, because I'm just going to discuss it a little bit. As they sent me an email and they asked me what I think of it, and it was an advertisement for another healer. And in this, just the title, I couldn't even click on the link. It actually turned my stomach. And in it, it said, activated the pyramids, it's done. Something like that. And my stomach turned, and I'm like, huh. Well, if that's the case, then they can do the healings that I've been doing because it's killing me physically, right? So, yay, there's somebody else that can do these healings. And that's what I kind of went to. I'm like, okay, God, like, let other people do these healings now. If there's other people like me that have been activating pyramids, why aren't they healing people like I am? Like, help, go there. No joke, that's been going through my head. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, it threw me for a loop. It really did. I'm like, how are other people, is this true? Now, I've heard of people activating portals, so Spirit showed me, and I'm going to give it to you. And I don't care if you guys believe me or not. You can take whatever you want out of it. That's on you. You're not my responsibility to ascend. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I give you everything I can give you from the highest lights possible, but it's all in how people receive it. It's receptivity, okay? So that's another part of it, is that we all had somebody that passed away recently, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my encounters with her, and I didn't want to. I was never going to, but Spirit's put it on my heart to do so. I first met her, somebody sent her to me. It was at the time I was doing the work for the internal with the president, okay? Like, I really was. I told you guys about it. It's in my past videos where I would come outside of myself, and the next thing I knew, I would be at the White House. Like, no joke. I saw the lawn. I saw the guards. I've described this before. And it was very, very, very interesting. Okay, I've described it in a past video. Feel free to watch all those videos. I really don't want to go that far and back into that. But it was around that time that she reached out to me, the one who recently passed away. No idea who this girl was, right? She reached out to me asking about something. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny because I've been having to put a bubble around him, and I was having to protect him. I was having to do certain things. I told you guys at one point I walked and I handed him something, like, literally no joke. I had discussed it with somebody as I was doing it. I had no idea what I was doing and what was happening to me. I welcome any form of proving, right? But that's besides the point of this video. Watch all my videos if you're interested in knowing more. In that, what Spirit is, so several times, how do I describe this message? And please don't shoot the messenger. But there has been several times where she had encounters with me, and I'm not gonna lie, I would get a cold shoulder from her, and I would. And what I would hear is ego, okay? So that's part of the message, is We've all had to battle our own ego. I've had to battle mine. I've had to stick up for myself. I've had to insert my foot where I needed to insert my foot. And I've kicked damn ass for quite the past 2 years, you guys. 19, 20, 21. Since 2019. 19, 20, 21. That's when I started doing this work. So if you think somebody can activate the pyramids in one day, you're out your damn mind. Okay, so that's another part of this. But, you know, this irked me when she passed away. I feel like some people might be blaming me. I feel it. It's part of grief. If you are, I don't blame you. I thought the same thing for a moment. Like, that's that missed opportunity comment. Like, did I miss an opportunity? You know, because she's been in my life. I'm a healer. I heal people like you would not believe, okay? It's real. I mean medical healings. And so I'm in my head, I'm like, she had cardiac arrest. And so I was going through this. This is what I've been going through, and I feel it from other people too. It is what it is. I cannot force people to allow me in, first of all. I cannot force people to hear me, 11:11, right when I said that. Second of all. Okay? So that's also part of the message. I don't know why that's heavy, but it is, and it's in the air. But the thing is we all have these opportunities. I kept pulling that card. It's going back to that part, right? This is kind of a detailed message. But in many of my other channeled videos, I've pulled cards, and one of the card is that card with the cat. It kind of looks like a bird, and it's like, what is that card called? Some people chose not to hear the call, okay? And I remember Spirit telling her, because she told me they told her to help me spread the word, and she chose not to out of ego, okay? And so there were certain moments where I feel like I could have helped her. She just chose not to, and I can't help that, okay? And that's part of Spirit's messages. We are all in control of our own ascension. We are all in control of our own heart space and how much love we let in and how much love we get out. And the purpose of reality is to know what true love is to know how to love unconditionally. That is the purpose of life. That was the purpose of being here on a huge, that's like the big picture, okay? And every little thing we do, we're learning, and it's like, you know, bumping and like ping pong, and like, boop, I made a mistake, oop, here's karma, right? And that's just kind of, whoop, karma's supposed to teach you, and we're so dense, and oh, I'm gonna do it again. I have time is what Spirit kept thinking, okay? So that's what she's telling. It's like she had time, okay? She thought she had time. And I've said that before too. It's like, you know, some people didn't hear the call. Some people aren't aware of what's going forward. Some people thought it was kind of a joke. Like, this can't be real. This can't be real. But look at things. Look all over the world. Look at the bigger picture to see the reality. Stop looking within and out and look within, right? And like I've said before, she would sit still until things came up, and then she would run. So what is your choice, right? And of course she's stepping in. She's like, I'm going to be here. So of course she's here. But what is your choice? Do you run from your reality and your truths and your nudges, or do you step right in because shit is crazy? Let's just take it down to a bare minimum. I don't understand what's going on in the world. Crap is crazy. So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to take a step back out of all of that. Right? I'm going to take a step back out of all of that. And I'm going to go within. And I'm going to take a good look at myself. Because once you do that, your whole world changes. Once you're willing to look within and find out, okay, what is going on? Everything comes from within me. So everything I do must start there. And this might be hard for me to do. It was hard for me to do, you guys. Not only did I have my awakening and do all that other stuff, okay, I was also healing myself. It hasn't been pretty. Somebody who has a true awakening, it's not pretty. It gets bumpy. It gets painful. It gets lonely. It gets confusing as hell. It gets frustrating. You cry an awful lot but they support you. You're not alone. There's so beautiful moments you can't even imagine. and so much light just goes and changes your existence. Okay? There's messages here for somebody. I didn't plan this speech. This is what Spirit is bringing forth as I'm going. I was like, I don't even want to go live. I have been avoiding it, and there's a reason why. Okay? If you notice, I haven't done a video all week long. So that's part of this message too, is I've done some changes. Okay? I can only put out what I can put out right now. I have spent 2 to 3 years, my whole lifetime prior, giving and giving and giving and healing. And then since my Kundalini awakening, it was my whole world changed and shifted, and I was nonstop healing people, doing something with the world, healing people, doing something with the angels, healing people, doing something with God, healing people. It was nonstop, okay? And I can't wait until I can get my story on paper. Like, I'm super anxious for that, because then you guys are going to see everything that I've done and the difference between a true healer and a false prophet. Somebody who can... Because I work in business. I work in a company that, like, everywhere you go, there's sales, right? Somebody's always selling or buying something. I can see how easy it is to manipulate people. Y'all are manipulated. Manipulated? That did not come out right. Manipulated to an umpteenth degree pretty much everywhere you go. That's how the world has worked. What can I manipulate you to do for me? Everybody's based off their own little motivation, okay? And they will do and say whatever it is to get it. And that's what it is, all right? And so that email I had received saying that the pyramids were opened, or the portal, whatever was opened, and all these beings came forth, and it's done. That is the biggest piece of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. And I got the okay from Spirit to say that. Because people like that is why Spirit's really struggling right now, okay? That's why that one Chiron message is like so many, and that guy that you guys showed me, like, he's had some moments where it's all about the end of days, okay? So you have to be careful. People allow their own opinion in all of the time. Ego has gotten in the way so much. And there are more false prophets than real. And this is a thing. They are going to start to be shown. Everything that I did not occur in one day. You think I could have activated one pyramid and all of those pyramids in one day? You guys, it took me the better part of 8 months just for, I don't even know how long it took for just the pyramids alone. But it took me 2 to 3 years for everything that I've done, for this process, for the work that I did, for the pyramids, for raising Atlantis, cleansing the souls of the earth, undoing contracts all the way back to Abraham Lincoln. So that was another thing that I did at one point. It's like I had him there, like, and there was my pyramid energy portal that I've talked about, where all the crazy shit would occur, okay? And these things would happen when I was in meditation and just while awake, but meditating. My whole world was this for 3 years. It takes way more than you can imagine to do this work. It is not an easy thing to do. It takes my health. It takes my vitality. It took my beauty, because I spent 3 years using my life force doing it. And I've tried to express that before. And so if everywhere I look, I see all these people right now in judgment going, no, I've done this and I've done this. And not one of those. And the thing is I did it silently. Because in reality, someone like that is going to be stopped if they go too far. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, open your eyes, open your energy, and step the fuck back. And that's what's up. That's what's up right now. Because shit is about to go boom. And I'm not kidding you guys. What exactly all that means, they will not show anybody. Nobody knows. I've been saying for probably 2 years that a lot of people aren't going to go. I cannot help that. That is not my fault. So here's another reference to a previous video. What does it mean when it's the end of days, like Bible says? I don't like that term. It's not the end of days. I've been saying that since my first video one of my first videos over a year ago. It is the end of ways, period. But life does not cease to exist, okay? But a lot of people can't go. And here's what message Spirit said, and I will post this video underneath of when I channeled this message. I even wrote it down and I channeled it and I did it on a video. Is that what Judgment Day is, and this is what Spirit told me. It's not based on God's judgment. God does not judge, and I've tried to tell you guys this. Judgment does not exist in love. I don't judge anybody. I love everybody. I have to protect me because I've been hurt severely and treated like shit. And that's the reality. And I still am today. Which is why part of my message is I have quit Patreon. I have shut it down. Okay, but I will discuss that a little bit at the end. God does not judge. Your judgment day is built from your seams. And that's what Spirit channeled. You build it from your seams. Every stitch you sew in life becomes your visual as you strive. Does that make sense? Like I didn't even mean to rhyme. Sorry, that just comes out sometimes. But that's what it is. It's like, it's not my fault because I've brought about these things. And I did. And people on here have done my workshops with me, and that's probably the energy I'm feeling. They've seen it. People who have followed me have seen it. If you're new here, I encourage you, just open your mind, open your heart, and watch all the videos. Talk to the people who are on here. You create your reality. If you choose to not listen to Spirit, which is your inner guidance, that's truly what it is. How do I know when Spirit's talking to me? What the hell is nudging you the most? What is coming at you in your dreams? What do you feel in here? Not up here. Like when I say something that's off, like my throat will feel funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello. That's on each individual. Some will go, some will stay, some will never know life this way. Some will go, some will stay, some will never know life this way. I can repeat this again. Some will go. What does that mean? Some will die. But guess what? They'll be reborn in the new earth. And that's what they show me, 222. And it was 2222 when I said that part. Some will stay. Some of us will not die. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of days. Please stop saying that. Those people that say that really irk me. Like it irks Spirit. It's like, ugh, right? You're creating fear with that. That creates fear, okay? It's not the end of days. It's the end of ways. Some will go. Sorry. You gotta go, right? Who chooses when you go? I don't choose when you go. You choose when you go. Sometimes we don't actually choose when I go. Sometimes people snuff it out, right? And that happens. But there is ways out, and I feel that. I feel like karmically we have exit points, and sometimes things happen and those occur, and there's very rare instances where it's snuffed out, and that happens, right? But that's that dark stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Some will go, some will stay, and some will never know life this way. What does that part mean? That part means those of not the light, those that didn't learn how to love, 333. People of the darkness, people who took in more darkness than light. Where they go, they will never know what they know now again. And that's been talked about. It's like an erasal of consciousness, all right? And that is what I see. And that's also what others have said. Okay, and that's what it means by some will never know life this way. They will never be welcome here again. They will never be allowed here again, because what I did in several different workshops. So those of you who worked with me, how many workshops did it take me to move the earth? There were a few where I'm like, oh crap, and then there was something that happened and 30 people died in an earthquake, and I was like, oh my god, like it was within minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, and that was in the beginning times, and then it just kept happening and happening and happening. You can't fake that shit. You cannot fake what I did, and I had no idea what I was doing. That's the funny thing about it, okay? You can tell these prophets, these so-called people, it's like they did their research and they presented it in such a way to make you think that they're telling you the truth. 444. Where am I getting the numbers? It's on the minute counter. Every time I look up, I'm seeing this as I'm saying certain things on the minute counter. But it's very much so that, and this is what Spirit told me, and I've asked him, are you sure this is true? This is not my ego, and I don't really have much of an ego, obviously, or I wouldn't be who I am. And also Ashtar visited me and did my Akashic records, and it's crazy. Like, this shit is real. But where was I at? Now I'm like, oh gosh. As the healer, as the person that I am, and I've said it before, I'm of the gods of time. That's what they tell me. I can't deny it. I welcome anybody who wants to challenge that. I welcome you. I just ask you to challenge it positively. What do you want me to do? And I'll do it. Don't sit here and try to be accusatory or judgment, but I'll be glad to do hypnosis, 555. I would be glad to prove anything, and I've said that before. The work that I did took everything that I have. Look at my videos from a year ago, my face to now. It took everything that I had. My heart was enlarged. Same time probably Cheryl's was, and I didn't know. Like, who knew, right? I couldn't get her to, she only pooped back in every now and then. And another time she was like, oh my God, it's you. They said it would be somebody we wouldn't expect. And I'm like, yeah. And I thought then she would come to me, and she didn't. So I can't force anybody, you guys, okay? You're all responsible for your own reality. You're all responsible for your own outcomes. And that's like this new career that I just chose. It's hard as hell, right? Well, you would think it's simple. I'm at home working 40 hours. It ain't simple at all. I am responsible for my own learning. I'm responsible for understanding the damn stuff. It's like really quick learning, and then we are out there. And it's go, go, go. And it's hard, and it's a challenge for me. And I love that. Like, I needed that. Nothing is a challenge a lot for me. But this was, and this was a piece that I was missing. And so that's me being responsible for my own growth, what I need next. And I'm also backing out of those lives. I'm not going to allow space for people to take anything out on me anymore or try to manipulate. I just can't do so. We got to get through some of these things. Okay, so I'm making changes in my environment. I'm making changes on my channel. I quit Patreon. None of you are members anymore. You will still receive something for July. I will let you know what. I'm not quitting being here, but I am just not allowing space to be where I was before, right? And that's me taking charge of my own journey and my own power, okay? And so that's also the message. It's like you have to be responsible for what you're responsible for. Nobody else can be. Nobody else can be. Spirit can give you what they need. We can be here for you. We're all here for each other, yes. But you also have to be responsible. You also have to be craving the answers. You also have to be seeking the truth. You also have to be making sure you're up into love. Do I know how to love? Spirit's wanting to know, because as above, so below, right? That's what I kept saying. And so what that really means is this new world, some will stay, is going to be based off love. Pure love and light. Like unconditional love. And if you're incapable of that, I would be going, why? Like, what do I need to do to make sure that I have an unconditional love right now, and that I'm not in judgment, and that I'm not in ego? Otherwise, you could be in trouble. It could get really clunky. And we also have to learn that part of ascension, part of growth, is also letting go. Trust me, I'm having to let somebody go right now, and I don't want to, because it doesn't just affect me, it affects my kids. And I don't like it, and I don't like what's going on, and I don't like what I see. But I cannot, for the life of me, force this person to see. I cannot force people to heal. And I've tried. I've tried. I really have. And then I look really cuckoo when I do that. And I get that. But that's love, right? It's like, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up on you. Like, that's who I am, right? And who else is like that? I don't know of many. So, When you're wondering, as these moments, because it's going to go quicker, you guys, it's starting to pick up, and it's not because it's picking up, it's just like the pieces are starting to go vwam, vwam, vwam. And I've said it over and over. The work that I did was not little work. It was not just putting you in the energy of a portal. It was not just allowing other star beings to come forth and help you heal. It was none of that. I healed people. I opened the pyramids. I activated the pyramids. Spirit said nobody else on this earth did that. Not one other person on this planet touched those pyramids. They can use the energy. They can do like things with it, with other beings. Okay, there's portals active now, yes, and they can act. They can take part in them. Is what Spirit says. They can partake in the energy and the activities that are available to them within those arenas. But not one of them did the work that I did, and I'm not boasting. It took everything I had, and it killed me, and I got hurt bad by a lot of people, and that's my reality. But I didn't do it just for me, right? So it makes me different than you or anybody else. It's just who I am. A false prophet can sit here and say, oh, all these beings came through and I just activated the portals, because they know it's about to come. So if I claim I did this right now, it looks like I did. And in their minds, they're going to get a lot of people to follow them. Except for, where are they going? I don't want to know. Because they're lying. Okay? There is no way you can do the work that I do, and you can do the kind of healings that I do, without giving some of yourself up. And I've said this before. Not one other person on this earth activated any pyramids. Again, they can partake, and they can use certain activities within them that Spirit will bring forth, angels will bring forth, or that they relate to. So just watch who you're following. Another one is guru. There's something with this term guru. If you're following a guru, I would urge you to widen up your existence, because there's something off there. Okay, it's like, if I claim this title to manipulate you, I could have done that this whole entire last 2 years. I could have manipulated so many people, like so many people I saw. Because unlike most people, I can see everything from an outside perspective. So that's what Spirit's asking you to do. See everything 333 from an outside perspective. Okay? You cannot do the work that I do, and the people who've worked with me and see what kind of healings I do will understand what I'm saying to you. You cannot do this kind of work easily. You cannot do this kind of work in one freaking day. It took me years, the better part of the last 3 years, to do everything that I have done. And I've shown the painting, I've cleared souls. Not only did I do the big work, I was healing all these people in this meantime. All these people were coming. I did a lot. And it took the stuff that you all are about to see. It took me 3 years myself to do, let alone everybody else opening up that energy to do so. And so that's what Spirit's kind of showing. Is people like me? No. Others who open up that energy and can do healings within it and do other things? Yes. And so just be very weary of what they're claiming they're doing. And that's kind of your key, okay? What are they claiming they're doing? And how are they doing it? And mind you, when I did it, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. There's a reason for that. You cannot do this kind of big work. There was no way I could have done it out in public eye. There's no way that's not reality. That's not how energy works. Okay, so let's get real. Let's sit in reality for a moment, and let's stay outside of what's about to come. That's your best bet, and that's what Spirit is saying, okay? Do your best to step outside of the happenings and what is about to occur, because it's going to be so much different. And what Spirit is showing me is everybody thinks they know. They're saying everybody thinks they know. Even the true prophets, even the true people that are kind of like me, right? Granted, there's not one people who can do what I did, but there are people who can access multiple things, okay? And so there are really good, powerful people out there. The problem is there's more false than good in 444 right when I said that. Okay? You have to step back and look at things from an outside perspective. Once you do that, you can see things from a bigger picture, and then it's easier to see reality, because when you're in the middle of the muck, things look one way, and that's intentional, my friends. It is intentional. And so I'm not doing the lives like I did before. As I pull a card, I'll go into my announcements now. I quit Patreon. I just canceled it already. I will give you something for July. And I am not doing lives like I was doing before. I will still do lives. I enjoy doing lives. I will do like Q&As possibly. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it yet. And I still will do healings on live, but it will be with a person who is in my energy bubble, who I welcome on the live with me, okay? And it will be through a paid session, albeit probably at a discounted rate, unless there's somebody that I know that needs it, okay? And I'll be glad if you're willing to do a live with me, to do a healing on a live, to show you guys exactly what I do without people trying to manipulate my energy, okay? And that's what's up, and that's okay. That's all right. You know, I'm gonna do things a little differently. It's not gonna be like other people. I'm still not gonna limit the healings that I do, because that's not who I am. And I want to show everybody who we are and what we're all capable of doing by doing these lives. And so I will probably change it. You can either message me on my phone, which is available on the website, or, and I'm asking for a message through text message only, please, or email, whatever, because that's also on the website. And you can request a live healing, okay, and what that would look like, what you're capable of doing for it, because there will always be an exchange of some sort. So if there's a particular individual who really needs a healing, and this will be the only way I'll allow this to happen is through the lives, right? Well, not the only way, but a really good way, I should say, is if there's an individual who wants the healing and they can't afford my services because they are pricey. And that's for a reason, because I am worth more than that. It's invaluable. How do you put a price on invaluability? But anyways, if there's somebody who needs me and they can't afford it, we will work it out and you will do the live with me, okay? But those are on a come-by-come, case-by-case basis, because I am limiting what I'm doing for my health, number one, like I told you guys, right? I'm finally... I was really swollen and I was very sick, and I didn't express how sick I was to you guys, but I was very, very sick, and I saw 333 when I saw that. My heart was literally enlarged. My feet swelled up like a balloon. My arms swelled like a balloon. I could barely move, and I didn't feel good, okay? And this was not that long ago, right after I got done doing the work that I was doing, okay? Yes, it correlates, very much so. And so since then, I've done healings on myself. I'm getting healthier. The swelling's going down. I'm able to move more. I'm working my butt off. But I am limiting who I allow in and what healings I can do. And what Spirit's also saying is we're all going to be met with things right now. It's what you need to look at and what you need to recognize and what you need to let go. And it may be harsh and it may be subtle. It's what it is, what it is. And we just need to love each other, and we need to go inward and not outward, okay? And yes, I will still do other things, and I will still do videos, but they are going to be a little different going forward, I think. So that's that, and I am also changing the website. So access to me might be a little bit not as easy as it was, but that's for a good reason, okay? Because I am taking responsibility for my own health and well-being, because I gave enough. I gave everything I had these last 3 years, and if you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. I gave enough, and I'm sorry I have to back up, because unintentionally people are shooting daggers and not being kind, and I feel like it's unintentional. It's because it's what's coming up for them to release, for them to recognize. It's what's coming up. I feel like as we're going through these big shifts, big karma is going to be pushed. Do you understand what that means, you guys? So it's much better for you to stay out of the external energy by staying within, right? And that's how you really kind of do it. And that doesn't mean get depressed. That's a different kind of thing. That's a different kind of going within, because you're not really within. When you're depressed, you're completely detached from yourself. Going within is total different from that, and so that's also part of that message. Okay. I will still be giving away the free 30-minute healing for those that did the underneath the video that answered the question. There is somebody already popping out that needs one, and so I'm hoping they're on there, but I will see who answered, and so that is still coming. And I will do that free 30-minute healing for that individual. They will get a personal email or message from me some way, somehow, coming forward within the next few days. So, yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask below. I'm not sure I will have any, but I will be glad to answer them going forward. Like I said, I will still do lives, but they're going to be structured quite differently. And the healings people receive on them is going to be an actual healing. Okay? With healing, it's all in layers. You guys receive in layers what you're open to receive. I've said again, receptivity. It's all about receptivity. Everything's in layers. You have to start somewhere. When I was healing, I didn't get to jump right into the deepest heart healing. I had to go through 2 years of other healing before it went boom, and I was ready for that. And that was huge, okay? And it's clunky, and it can be rough, and people judge you, and that's what's up right now. That's that old energy that's about to be wiped off of the earth. Because as Spirit says, your judgment day was designed by you. It was created by everything you sow within your seams. So where you go is on you, nobody else. Also, you're kind of responsible for that, right? Like, you are responsible for your own stuff. You really are. And you've got to really take a hard look at that right now. Like, it's time to do that. And then we also have to learn to love. And part of that is learning to let go. It's acceptance. There's a lot of things coming forth. I don't know how else to describe that. It's not going to be light, but you'll start to really see it. Some might suffer more, and some might all of a sudden just rise up. I'm going to rise up, rise like the wind. I don't know, the rain? What is it, the wind? Anyways, so here's the cards that I pulled. Now this is beautiful. Okay, so even when I was saying it's all on you, what did I also say? We also need each other. The more energy we get in coherence, the more energy is moved. That's why praying is so powerful, y'all. That's how they manipulate people, because the more people you get to buy in, the more energy involved, and woo! And then it just goes woo! Understand? And so that's where this one comes in. Communication, co-creation. We're going to need each other going forward. More than you've ever needed people. More than you've ever wanted to need people, because we were once hidden. We were once shut down. We were once in a world that was oh so cold. And now it's going to be all about unity. And I didn't expect that message to be coming out, but that's what's coming out for this one. It is going to be all about unity coming forward. Unity of new kinds. Like collective unity, okay? It's a new wave of collective unity. And that's kind of, and you guys can come at me like, oh, this is a negative message. No, it's not. This is a reality of what's coming out, 333, to be released in the world right now. Okay? And within the individual realm. Because shit don't stay here anymore. That was another part of one of my workshops. I said specifically after a certain thing I did, I can't remember what it was, but I specifically said, if you're of a low vibration, you cannot stay here anymore. Just is what it is. A low vibration does not mean somebody who's necessarily sad. A low person who cannot connect with that level does not mean somebody who's necessarily sad. I don't know who needs to hear that. But just because somebody's sad, or somebody's like, I feel like everybody's going to have another opportunity. They might have another opportunity, Spirit's showing me. It depends on their heart. So remember, it's all created by you. It's quite the detailed message. So good on you for those who listen to it all. I didn't expect it. The Spirit has a way of going, come on, it'll be a short message, they told me. A short message. muckers. And then it was 444 right when I said that. That's so funny. All right, so then luminescence. All right, this is everything that I've said to you, and that's what this card is telling me. Step out of the collective conjunct. Okay, it's like the mermaid. The mermaid does what? She stays in the distance. She can feel the vibrations of the world, and this is what's coming through in this one. In order to do that, she steps out of the hustle and bustle. They're not in the reality that you're in. They don't walk the planet that you walk. They float in the depths of the sea, listening, watching from an outside perspective. And they can feel every vibration by doing so. They can hear every tone and every sound, and they can feel the calmness amongst the distant chaos. Lumen essence. All is one, one is all. Unity can be found in stillness. So much love. I will post the links to certain videos below this one, again, as I edit it, so it may not be immediately right away. And I will keep doing videos. I'm gonna shoot for 1 video a week, if not 2, but I'm not setting anything in stone right now. I'm kind of undoing some of those things and making sure my energy is protected. I had to. So much love. Have a great day, you guys. Be aware of those false prophets. I think like you're gonna see them kind of go whoop before they go whoop, if that makes any sense at all. And let's see. Be willing to grow no matter how hard, for truth and beauty are on the path of that. Okay? They're on the path that most people don't want to go because it seems like there's a struggle, but it's just not so. You cannot have growth without a little bit of letting go. You cannot ascend without the same. So much love. Bye. If you guys have any questions, comment below.